Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I am Milk and you are watching Milk Astrology. And excuse all the extra look I'm going for right now. I'm going to a festival, and so yeah, I just figured while I wait to go, I might as well record a video. You know, it usually takes a lot of effort for me to put makeup on, so today we're going to be doing 3 things that Tumblr and Instagram get wrong about Sagittarius. And I personally love Sagittarius. My moon sign is Sagittarius. Even though I don't feel like Sagittarius placements often get along with me, but it's a story for another day. So we're going to be doing 3 misconceptions about Sagittarius that social media taught you, or me, I don't know. So the first misconception about Sagittarius is that people are constantly saying Sagittarius is flaky, that they're rude, that they're pretty much like these obnoxious, loud, inconsiderate people who aren't dependable, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. I feel like often Sagittarius placements are incredibly sensitive to the needs of others, and most of the time don't even bring up if something that you've said bothers them, especially when they're younger. I feel like it takes a lot for Sagittarius to actually speak up, but they really are selective about the battles that they pick, and they can be incredibly dependable with the commitments that they make. They're usually overachievers. They're usually great in school. They're usually like the best employee at like the business, wherever you work, I don't know. And I feel like they get this like really weird reputation for not being good at any of those things because of how like inconsistent they are, but this is just not true. I feel like Sagittarius people are invested. They're very all or nothing. So like, of course, if they're not interested or they don't plan on being invested in something that, you know, happens in their life, they're just not going to bother with it, and I guess that could come off as being completely nothing. But again, like, they're incredibly passionate. They're ruled by Jupiter. They're ruled by the need to expand on energy that is like surrounded by them. So I feel like they are definitely very committed to what they choose to be committed to. Maybe they just chose not to be committed to you. And the second misconception is that everyone's always saying that Sagittarius is this like huge, adventurous, like always backpacking through Europe kind of stigma. And don't get me wrong, like, I definitely think Sagittarius gets antsy. I think they need to constantly be doing something, whether that's expanding on like a new study that they're learning, or whether that's going to a festival or something. Like, I feel like they definitely are a person that can't just be complacent. But I think this like stigma that they always want to be outdoors, like hiking and traveling, I definitely don't see that to be true. I feel like a lot of Sagittarius placements are incredibly homebody. They're very good at like being entertained with very small, simple things. They don't have to be like bungee jumping to find that fulfillment. They can be just as fulfilled like reading a novel at home or studying some kind of YouTube thing online, like that they're teaching themselves. I feel like that's just kind of a huge misconception, just because that they are kind of known as like being the hippie of the zodiac. And don't get me wrong, I definitely see like where that stems from, but I also feel like they're more than that, and I feel like they're not given enough credit. So, and then the third biggest misconception about Sagittarius is that people are constantly saying that Sagittarius is like a player, like a heartbreaker. I get like a lot of stigmas around Sagittarius being cheaters, and I just don't see how that could be true, especially when like the same posts often say like Sagittarius is ruled by the need to be honest. So like, what is the truth? I feel like it's definitely the fact that they are so true to themselves and they're so honest with who they are. Like, they don't feel the need to be deceptive about what they want. I think they can be very abrupt with what they decide, and I think it can feel last minute to people who aren't aware of how fast their mind is constantly moving. But I definitely feel like they are incredibly honest with people around them, so giving them this kind of stigma about like being players or something, I don't see that as true at all. I feel like if anything, a lot of these Sagittarius placement people that I've met or that I've watched, I have been, that sounds weird, I've been very committed and loyal in like monogamous relationships and like whatever commitments that they've made, whether that's like with business or with friends. Like they're just very loyal, they're very true to the people and the promises that they make, and I feel like if anything, Sagittarius is like a person of their word. They're not going to go back on themselves or go back on something that they've promised to do. I feel like they're very disciplined in that sense. And again, like I feel like we give them this really bad stigma around being cheaters or being untrue to people or being like phony or fake, and I just feel like I don't understand where that comes from, because Sagittarius people are incredibly upfront. Like you'll know if they have a problem with you. But again, they're not necessarily like rude. They're not just gonna like come up to you and like start problems with you just because they're having a bad day. I think that they can be kind of pushovers, and I don't think we talk about this with Sagittarius. I think Sagittarius is very much into giving people as much as possible of themselves, into the point that they feel drained. And I think sometimes people get accustomed to taking advantage of Sagittarius, and then when Sagittarius actually like decides that they've had enough and they do what they usually do and cut that off, people are shocked, because I think people don't understand that Sagittarius is willing to give a lot until they have nothing left to give you. And that's just a huge feeling that I believe in, and I don't know if anyone else gets where I'm coming from. Comment below, let me know what you think about my facts. And this video is so brief, I am sorry. Overall, that completes this video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on, because no one is getting my updates and it's hard out here. And I will see you in my next video.